King Ghidorah versus Skar King versus MechaGodzilla, the three greatest villains in the MonsterVerse. But who's ultimately coming out on top here? Well, let's get to it. What's up guys, this is DanCo. I do fight breakdowns, power ranking videos, or more deep dives into your favorite characters and franchises, with new videos every week. So if that seems great to you, well, sit back and enjoy the video. Hit that like button if you want to, or hit the subscribe button while you're at it. The one who is many, the living extinction event, the death song of three storms. Ghidorah, the three-headed monster. He's not from this world, but a creature who fell from the stars, where he clashed with Godzilla for supremacy over the Earth. After his defeat, he was buried in the ice, where he was discovered some time ago by Monarch, who established Outpost 32 around his frozen body in order to study him. But then a bunch of eco-terrorists set him free from the ice in an attempt to restore what they believed was the true natural order of things, a planet ruled by titans. King Ghidorah is incredibly powerful. Just for starters, he's over 500 feet tall and weighs over 140,000 tons. The guy's absolutely massive and easily one of the biggest titans we've ever seen. He's been able to fight against Godzilla countless different times. Each time they clash, it sends out a massive shockwave. And Ghidorah isn't just able to clash with Godzilla, but he's able to straight up overpower Godzilla. Not just that, but overpower a version of Godzilla who was amped up and more powerful than he had been before. Well, Ghidorah overpowered that Godzilla, picked him up, dropped him from nearly outer space, and almost killed him. That's how powerful King Ghidorah is. Not only that, but King Ghidorah is insanely tough and dang near unkillable. For starters, nothing that mankind can throw at him is gonna do any good. The big guy is basically impossible to stop with any conventional weapons. Even the Oxygen Destroyer, something that was promised to wipe out every single life form within a 2-mile radius and packing enough explosive power to nearly kill Godzilla, well, Ghidorah just bounced out of the water like it was nothing. And then with attacks from Godzilla, well, it's taken nearly every attack that Godzilla could throw his way and kept on fighting through all of it. And I'm talking taking point-blank atomic breath to the chest from Godzilla and not even being phased. That's how tough he is. And when Godzilla is able to injure him, well, Ghidorah has a superhuman healing factor. He could literally regrow one of his 3 heads, act like nothing had happened. Then there's his gravity beams and energy powers. They're pretty much equal to Godzilla's atomic breath and power. He's able to absolutely obliterate other titans like Rodan or Mothra with them, and has seriously messed up Godzilla as well. On top of that, he can also drain power from other monsters, or even everything around him, in order to amp himself, make himself more powerful, even just by existing. King Ghidorah was creating a Category 6 hurricane around him. That's more powerful than any hurricane in recorded history. Yeah, the big guy is something else. But then there's MechaGodzilla. So in Godzilla vs. Kong, MechaGodzilla was created by Apex Cybernetics because the CEO was determined to build a weapon powerful enough to challenge Godzilla's dominance, make humans the apex predators, the alpha titans again. And so, in order to do all this, in order to take down Godzilla, well, they took 2 of the heads from King Ghidorah and used their telepathic connection to build a giant metal kaiju that can be piloted by a human. Kinda confusing, but it did work there for a second. But then Ghidorah somehow took over, causing MechaGodzilla to break out and just start wreaking havoc in downtown Hong Kong. Then he went up against Godzilla and started wreaking havoc too. And then he went up against Kong, and Godzilla and Kong, all at the same time. So MechaGodzilla is obviously incredibly strong. He's able to completely overpower Godzilla, knock him down, ram him through buildings, everything. Did the same thing with Kong too. Now, granted, both of them were exhausted after having fought each other almost to the death, but still, we've never seen Godzilla getting overpowered like that so quickly in a fight, even against King Ghidorah. MechaGodzilla was completely dominant from the very beginning. Godzilla was basically just his punching bag at some points. He's also a mech, meaning that he's got all sorts of weapons and gadgets too. He's got shoulder-mounted missile launchers that were capable of stunning and knocking over Godzilla. He can unleash some super-powered energy punches that's knocked over Godzilla too. Even his tail has a deadly drill attached to it. Then to top it all off, MechaGodzilla has his own atomic breath, his proton scream, which was able to slice right through a skullcrawler, match up against Godzilla's own atomic breath, even overpower Godzilla's beam. And then there's the Skar King. The Skar King is a sadistic, tyrannical, and brutal titan who rules over a clan of other monkey titans with an iron fist and is personally responsible for the deaths of countless around him. No longer satisfied with just ruling over simply the hollow earth though, he decided to strike out against the surface world, using his loyal servant and minion Shimu, the first titan, in order to unleash destruction upon the earth. Skar King is incredibly intelligent and ruthless. He's pretty much just as smart as a person, and regularly uses intellect whenever he finds himself in a fight. He's incredibly fast and agile, routinely dodging attacks and jumping and evading around. He's got the perfect weapon to combine with his speed and agility, the Whip Slash. Made from the spine of a gigantic titan, the Whip Slash is a whip that's able to seriously cut and damage enemies, as well as lasso objects and throw them around. He's evil and a menace, the most sadistic villain that we've seen in the Monsterverse. He's a tyrant and not at all afraid to kill anyone in his way, or even throw some hands himself if he needs to. So who wins here? Well, I think it's fair to say that the Skar King isn't gonna win here. He's out and it's not even close. Now, this isn't to say he's not a threat or a villain. It's more just to say he's old. It looks like the Skar King has been around for longer than a millennia. While he might have been a great and deadly warrior at one point, he's not anymore. He was gonna lose that initial fight to Kong. Yeah, Skar King was faster and more agile, but Kong was stronger and more powerful. He was gonna win, and that's why Skar King had to call in Shimu to finish off what he couldn't. And it kinda played out that way for the rest of the movie. Kong was beating him with his beast glove. Godzilla was smoking him with his atomic breath. And as soon as they were able to destroy his weapon, well, Shimu finished him off. Skar King is a tyrant and a dictator. He rules through fear and intimidation, and that's where he gets his power from. But in a fight against the two greatest villains in the Monsterverse, well, he never really had a chance. So, King Ghidorah versus MechaGodzilla. Well, that's a much closer fight, and it's a fight that I've actually already done a whole video on. Long story short, King Ghidorah wins. Now, both of them are still incredibly strong, super tough, just ridiculously powerful. And MechaGodzilla actually has the edge when it comes to melee combat. His hollow earth attacks, his drill cannon on the tail. If the fight was up close, MechaGodzilla would probably win. But Ghidorah doesn't have to keep the fight up close. He has the range advantage and can totally exploit that. On top of that, he has a ridiculous healing factor where any attack that MechaGodzilla can land, well, it's totally possible that Ghidorah just heals from it. The kicker, though, is King Ghidorah's energy powers, for two things. One, the gravity beams definitely have the power to mess MechaGodzilla up. But more importantly, because MechaGodzilla is a mech, well, they have the power to completely throw off his electrical systems and take him out of the fight that way. And if that doesn't work, well, King Ghidorah can actually absorb energy, even absorbing electricity. We've seen this happen a few times, and it's totally in character for Ghidorah to do this. And at that point, well, it's game over. With no electricity or no energy, well, MechaGodzilla can't even move, much less fight back. King Ghidorah is still coming out on top here, cementing his place as the most powerful villain in the MonsterVerse. But what do y'all think? Sound off in the comments down below. I know you're gonna have thoughts and feelings on this one for sure. If you stuck around this long and made it to the end of the video, that's amazing. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting us. And if you want to go subscribe, well, go subscribe. You're going to see more videos like this one every single week. I'll see y'all then. I'll see y'all next time.